How long are you going to ignore what they did to you? How long will you keep pretending it didn't hurt when deep inside it changed something in you forever? Be honest. You trusted them, didn't you? You believed every word. You stood beside them when nobody else did. You gave them loyalty without conditions, without limits, without hesitation. And what did you get in return? Silence, distance, and betrayal. The kind of betrayal you never saw coming. Because the truth is, the people who hurt you the most don't look like enemies. They don't come with warnings. They don't announce their intentions. They look like your own people. They sound like they care. They act like they're with you, until one day they're not. And you remember that moment, don't you? That exact moment when everything started to feel different. Something was off, but you couldn't explain it. Maybe it was the way they stopped showing up for you. Maybe it was how their energy changed. Maybe it was the small things, the delayed replies, the fake smiles, the lack of support when you needed it most. At first you ignored it. You told yourself, maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe they're just busy. Maybe it's nothing. But deep down you knew. You felt it. Because energy doesn't lie. And slowly the truth started revealing itself. Not all at once, not in one big moment, but piece by piece, like cracks forming in glass. Invisible at first, but spreading quietly. Until one day everything shattered. You found out what they were saying behind your back. You realized they didn't believe in you. You saw how they smiled in your face and doubted you in private. And that realization, it hits differently. It's not just pain, it's confusion, it's anger, it's disbelief. Because you keep asking yourself why. Why would they do this to me? What did I do to deserve this? And the hardest question of all, was I not enough? But listen carefully, their betrayal was never about your worth. It was about their character. Weak people betray when they feel threatened. Insecure people doubt when they see potential. Fake people pretend until pretending becomes too hard. And what they did, it didn't define you, but it revealed them. Still, that doesn't mean it didn't hurt, because it did, more than you expected, more than you were ready for, because these weren't strangers. These were people you trusted, people you defended, people you supported when they had nothing. And somehow, they became the ones who turned against you. And that's the part that breaks something inside you. Not just trust in them, but trust in people. You start thinking differently. You start questioning everything, every word, every action, every intention. You replay conversations in your head. You go back to moments, trying to find signs you missed. You analyze everything, hoping to make sense of it. But the truth is, you didn't miss anything. You just chose to see the good in them. Because that's who you are. You're the kind of person who believes, who supports, who stays real even when it's hard. And in a world full of fake people, that kind of heart is rare. But here's what no one tells you. Having a good heart will get you hurt if you don't protect it. And this moment, this pain, this betrayal, this is where everything starts to change. Because now you see clearly, no more illusions. No more blind trust. No more ignoring red flags. You start noticing things you never noticed before. The way people act when you're winning. The way they react when you're struggling. The way they speak about others, because that's how they'll speak about you too. And slowly, you stop blaming yourself. You stop asking, why me? And you start realizing something powerful. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone deserves your loyalty. Not everyone deserves your energy. Just because you were real doesn't mean they were. And that realization, it changes everything. Because now you understand you didn't lose them, they lost you. And maybe it doesn't feel like that yet. Maybe right now it still hurts. Maybe there are moments when you feel that pain again, moments when you remember everything and it hits you all over again. That's normal because healing isn't instant. It takes time. But something inside you is different now. You're not as naive as before. not as blind, not as easy to fool. That version of you, the one who trusted without limits, who ignored warning signs, who gave everything without thinking twice, that version is gone, and in its place, someone stronger, someone wiser, someone who understands people on a deeper level. Because pain teaches what comfort never could. It forces you to grow. It forces you to see reality. It forces you to become someone you were never forced to be before. And sometimes that's exactly what you needed. Because if they never betrayed you, you would still be the same person. Still trusting the wrong people. Still giving your energy to those who don't deserve it. Still living in an illusion. So what felt like betrayal was actually a wake-up call. A painful one, but a necessary one. Because now you're awake. You see things for what they are, and that changes how you move, how you trust, how you live. So now the question is, what are you going to do with this pain? Are you going to let it break you? Or are you going to let it build you? Because this moment right here, this feeling, this turning point, this is where your next version begins. And they don't even realize it yet. But the person they betrayed is not the person they're going to see next. They thought they hurt you. They thought they broke you. But what they really did was create someone they will never be able to compete with. So now you've seen the truth. You've felt the pain. You've gone through the silence. You've experienced what betrayal really does to a person. But this is the moment where everything changes, because after the pain comes a decision. You can stay broken, or you can rebuild yourself into something stronger than ever before. Most people never make it past this point. They stay stuck in the past. They keep talking about what happened. They keep replaying the betrayal like a loop in their mind. They let it define them. But you're different. Because deep down, something inside you refuses to stay weak. Something inside you says, this is not how my story ends. And that's where your transformation begins. Not when life gets easy, but when you decide to rise despite everything you've been through. At first, it's not loud. There's no big announcement. No one claps for you. No one even notices. It's just you and your thoughts. Late nights where you sit alone, thinking about everything. Moments where you feel like giving up, but you don't. Days where you're tired, but you still push forward, and slowly you start changing. You stop explaining yourself to people who don't understand you. You stop chasing validation from people who never supported you. You stop seeking approval from those who secretly wanted you to fail. Instead, you start focusing on yourself, your mindset, your goals, your discipline. You begin to realize something powerful. The same energy you were giving to others, you can give to yourself. And when you do that, everything shifts. You become more focused, more controlled, more aware. You start moving differently. You don't talk as much. You don't share everything. You don't trust easily anymore. Not because you're broken, but because you've learned. Because now you understand. Not everyone deserves to know your plans. Not everyone deserves to be close to you. Not everyone deserves access to your life. And that doesn't make you cold. It makes you smart. It makes you strong. It makes you dangerous in a way they never expected. Because now you're no longer reacting emotionally. You're thinking strategically, while they're still stuck in gossip. You're building in silence. While they're watching others, you're working on yourself. While they're doubting you, you're improving every single day. And here's the part they don't see. This transformation is happening quietly. No noise, no attention, no validation, just progress. You wake up earlier. You start taking your goals seriously. You push yourself even when you don't feel like it, because now it's not about proving them wrong. It's about proving yourself right. You start respecting your own time. You start protecting your own energy. You start setting boundaries you never had before. And at first, it feels uncomfortable. Because you're not used to saying no. You're not used to putting yourself first. You're not used to walking away from people who don't value you. But every time you do it, you become stronger. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you level up. Every time you stay focused instead of distracted, you grow, and slowly the pain that once controlled you becomes fuel. Fuel to work harder, fuel to stay consistent, fuel to become better than who you were yesterday. You stop seeing yourself as a victim, and you start seeing yourself as someone who survived and is now evolving. Because let's be honest, what you went through could have broken you. It could have destroyed your confidence. It could have made you quit. It could have turned you into someone bitter and negative, but it didn't. Instead, it built something inside you. Something stronger, something sharper, something unshakable, and now you're no longer the person who gets easily hurt. You're the person who observes, who learns, who moves with purpose. You've developed a mindset that most people never reach. Look at anyone who has achieved something great. What you see is the result. What you do not see is the struggle behind it. The sleepless nights, the failures, the doubts, the moments when they felt like giving up but chose to continue. That is the part that makes the difference. And now think about yourself again. Every time you stop because it feels difficult, you are choosing a temporary comfort over a permanent transformation. You are choosing a life that is easier now but harder later. But if you can train yourself to do the opposite, if you can train yourself to lean into discomfort, to embrace the challenge, to keep going even when it is hard, everything changes. You start building a version of yourself that is unstoppable. You stop seeing obstacles as barriers and start seeing them as opportunities to grow. You stop asking, why is this happening to me, and start asking, what can I learn from this? You stop waiting for things to get easier and start becoming stronger. And that is when life begins to respond differently to you. Opportunities start appearing, not because the world suddenly changed, but because you did. Your mindset shifted. Your actions changed. Your standards increased. You no longer settle for average. You no longer accept excuses. You begin to demand more from yourself, and as a result, you begin to receive more from life. But there is one more thing you need to understand. This journey is not about being perfect. You will still have bad days. You will still make mistakes. You will still feel doubt. But the difference is, you will not let those moments stop you. You will keep moving forward, step by step, day by day, decision by decision. Because at the end of the day, success is not about one big moment. It is about the small choices you make consistently. It is about showing up when it is easier not to. It is about choosing growth when comfort is tempting. And if you can master that, if you can commit to that level of discipline and consistency, there is nothing that can stop you from creating the life you truly want. The question now is not whether it is possible. The question is, are you willing to do what it takes to make it happen? Now, everything comes down to one final truth, and it is a truth that most people spend their entire lives trying to avoid. The life you want is on the other side of who you are right now. Not the comfortable version of you, not the version that hesitates, not the version that overthinks every move, but the version of you that is willing to evolve, to sacrifice, to let go of everything that is holding you back. Because growth is not just about adding new habits. It is about removing the old ones. It is about letting go of the mindset that tells you to play small, to stay safe, to avoid risk. It is about breaking the identity that has been shaped by your past and building a new one that is aligned with your future. And this is where most people struggle the most. They want a new life, but they are not willing to become a new person. They want success, but they still think like someone who is afraid of failure. They want confidence, but they continue to act in ways that reinforce their insecurity. They want change, but they refuse to step out of their comfort zone. You cannot carry your old self into your new life. It does not work like that. At some point, you have to make a decision, a real decision. Not something you say out loud for a moment and forget the next day, but something you commit to with your actions every single day. There will be a moment, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon, where life will test you. It will put you in a situation where you have a choice. You can go back to your old habits, your old excuses, your old patterns, or you can step forward into discomfort, into uncertainty, into growth. And that moment will define you. Because it is easy to feel motivated when everything is going well. It is easy to talk about big dreams when you're comfortable. But what will you do when things get hard? What will you do when no one is watching? When no one is supporting you? When it feels like nothing is working? That is where your true character is revealed. There are people who wait for the perfect conditions, the perfect support, the perfect timing. And then there are people who decide that no matter what the conditions are, they will find a way. They will create opportunities instead of waiting for them. They will build momentum instead of hoping for it. And those are the people who change their lives. You have to understand that no one is coming to save you. No one is going to suddenly appear and fix everything for you. No one is going to hand you the life you dream about. It is your responsibility. It is your journey. It is your fight. And that might sound heavy, but it is actually empowering. Because if it is your responsibility, it means it is also in your control. It means you have the power to change it. It means you're not stuck unless you choose to be. Right now, there is a version of you that is waiting to be born. A stronger version, a more focused version, a version that does not get distracted by every small obstacle, a version that keeps going no matter what. That version of you is not far away. It is built through your daily actions. It is created every time you choose discipline over distraction, every time you choose courage over fear, every time you choose growth over comfort. But here is something you need to hear clearly. This journey will not be easy. There will be days when you feel like giving up. There will be moments when you question everything. There will be times when it feels like you are putting in so much effort and getting nothing in return. And in those moments, you will have to remind yourself why you started. You will have to remember the pain of staying where you are. You will have to remember the vision you once had. You will have to reconnect with that fire inside you that refuses to settle for less. Because if you do not, it is very easy to slip back into old patterns. It is very easy to become comfortable again. And comfort is dangerous because it feels safe while slowly taking you further away from your true potential. Time is passing whether you take action or not. Days are turning into weeks, weeks into months, months into years. And one day you will look back at your life and ask yourself one question. Did I become everything I was capable of becoming? That question has only two possible answers, and the answer depends on what you choose to do starting now, not next week. Not next month, not when everything is perfect, right now. Because the truth is, there is no perfect moment. There is only this moment, and what you do with it. So make a decision, a real one. Decide that you are done living a life that does not excite you. Decide that you are done making excuses. Decide that you are done doubting yourself. Decide that from this point forward you will take control. You will show up. You will put in the work. You will face your fears. You will keep going no matter what. And when you do that, something incredible happens. You start to build momentum. Small wins turn into bigger wins. Doubt starts to fade. Confidence starts to grow. And slowly, the life that once felt impossible begins to feel real. This is not about becoming perfect. This is about becoming relentless. Relentless in your effort. Relentless in your belief. Relentless in your commitment to your own growth. Because at the end of the day, the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the decision to go all in. So the question is no longer whether you can do it. The question is, will you?